Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part, and welcome to today's video. It is going to be filled of need to know tips for home building. We just finished up and got moved in, so if you're new here and want to watch the process, I did updates the whole way, so I have vlogs on all of that, and then I also filmed videos decorating every single space in our home, so I'll leave both of those playlists down below. But let's go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So during this 8 months of building, I just kept a whole notes folder in my phone, and anytime something popped up that I wish I knew or I wanted to share with you guys, I wrote it down. So if it seems a little bit all over the place, it's because that's how building a home is. Just so you have some like context or background, we do a lot of DIY projects in our home. We've also flipped a house. Our last house was like a semi-custom build, and then this one was a full-on custom build. Like, we bought the land, we had to bring everything in, we chose everything. So I felt like we were prepared for this, but I don't think anyone's ever fully prepared for a custom home building. I will say I even got on YouTube and watched tons of videos. So that's why I wanted to put these tips down for you, because I wish someone would have made a video, because I think it would have helped a lot. The very first thing I have written down is make sure you mesh with your home builder. So I don't think there's going to be a perfect builder out there. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. We all have different ideas and concepts. We chose our builder because he had built our previous house. He was a family friend, good godly church man. We trusted him, so that worked out really well. I knew going in we had different styles, but he was going to let me design it. So for that concept, it worked out really well. I didn't want to use someone that I hadn't used in the past. I didn't want to use someone that I didn't have references for. I had heard of other builders, but they were taking like way longer than what they were promised. And so the builder we chose stuck to his word. We finished in 8 months. And when it comes to like that stuff, he was the perfect builder for us. Probably the very first thing you're gonna panic on when you're custom building a home is the foundation. So that's one of the first things you're gonna see is they're gonna lay the foundation. You're gonna be so excited. You're gonna walk onto it and be like, this is the dining room or this is the kitchen. And it's going to feel so small. Like, this is probably the first time you're gonna cry if you're gonna cry during the home building experience. Luckily, when that had happened, I had already went and visited our friend's house who had just finished custom building, and she had warned me. She said, when you get there, it's going to seem so small, but it's not. It's just something to do with like the way it's laid out underneath you. Your eyes just can't focus, it can't adjust. So every single time you're out at your house, take a tape measure, leave it in every car, leave it in a bag, wherever, but start measuring things out. So we measured out like a king size bed, because I saw our bedroom, which we're in now, and started crying. I was like, it's not gonna fit our bed. Like, it's smaller than our first house or like their previous house. When we measured out a king bed, it looked like it was for like, you know, a doll, like a small person, like nobody big. So that's just where like your eyes can't fully understand. So if you're custom building, just keep telling yourself it's going to be okay. Once you start getting walls, you start to see it better, but you really don't grasp the size of the spaces until you're moved in and you see furniture in there, and then it feels so much bigger. So this is even good if you're shopping for a new house and the like space feels small if it's not staged. Just know it's gonna feel bigger once you have furniture in it. There was something else I wanted to bring up about that. I thought of it. So when we were custom building and we found this plan, it wasn't one we were able to walk through. We found it, it was on the internet, it was flat. And so it will give you measurements on like the room sizes. So we measured it out in our current house so I could see if the room was going to be bigger. And that's what reassured me as well. So like I measured out our new master bedroom in our current master bedroom so I could see like, okay, it may be shorter, but it's wider, or it may be bigger everywhere, or there may be a door here, so the bed will have to go there. We did this in the living room, the kitchen, the pantry, the laundry room, like every single bedroom. And when I would get stressed, I'd go see the house and I was like, okay, it's small. We'd come back home, remeasure it just to reassure ourselves it is going to be bigger, or it is going to be the space we need. So when I say have a tape measure, you are going to use it all the time when you're custom building. Another reason you want to tape measure is once framing goes up, or even your foundation, like when the foundation went in, we measured it to make sure it was right. Like that is when you want to catch things, is when it first goes in. So when framing went up, we measured immediately. Like we came over every morning to talk with the workers to get a game plan, and then we came back every evening once they were gone to see the status and make sure everything was going well. So Chase measured everything, everything looked good, but in one of our powder bathrooms, they had pulled the wall in. So it was a very tiny bathroom, which meant it was gonna be a very tiny sink. And then we had this oversized hallway that we didn't really need. Like it's still a good size. So we had that wall pulled out. So you just have to remember, like you wanna trust your workers and you want to be so nice to them. We loved our workers and we were so nice. We brought food, we brought drinks, like make sure they're your friends or you're nice to them because they are working on your home. But you do have to double check their work because they're human and mistakes are gonna be made, and we caught so many mistakes while they were here. So the next day when they came back out, they could fix it. If we waited for them to like complete their job and then they left, not only would they have to like remove more walls and more things, but we'd also have to wait for them to finish a job to like come back. So definitely like while your workers are there, make sure you're checking in with them, make sure you're asking questions, make sure you're measuring, like make sure you're staying up to date because this is your money. I don't know how many times people told me I was at our house too much. Like I would post a video and they're like, you need to stop going. You're just picking it apart. Well, we were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and it was our money. So I was gonna be here every single day making sure it was getting done the way we wanted it to be. Another good tip that someone actually told me, I think it was here on YouTube or maybe Instagram, but while your walls were open, like before drywall went up, take pictures. So later, if you have a leak or there's an issue, you have pictures of like what plumbing looks like, or maybe your electrical, or maybe where like studs are in your house. Chase was trying to hang a TV and we couldn't find this one stud we were wanting to. Well, I had taken a picture of that wall, so it helped us figure it out. So definitely just take the time and take some photos. Plus they're just fun to have, like as you finish out each stage, it's fun to take that same picture in that same spot, because then one day when you're done, you can like see the process and everything you've gone through during your home building journey, and it's gonna be a journey. Another tip that you probably already know, but just to like touch on it, is definitely have wiggle room in your budget. Make sure you have a little bit of money set aside so when you wanna do an upgrade, you can do that upgrade. Not that you're gonna do all of them, but as you're building, something's gonna come up and you're gonna wanna do that upgrade, or something's gonna come up like that you weren't expecting and it's gonna cost more. So definitely make room for your budget to allow for that. Just like we wanted some nicer tile to go up our laundry room wall, so that costs more, that wasn't in the bid. Or maybe it's like us where we ordered a tile and they told us it was one price, but when our builders ordered it, it was another. So we went and picked out a $7.98 tile, so it was under $8, and we ended up getting charged $22 per foot in all of our bathrooms for that tile. So definitely just make sure you have a little cushion in your budget, so when things like that happen, you're not like panicking and you don't know where the money's gonna come from. I also feel like it's very important that you know your style going in. Not that you can't make tweaks along the way, but I highly suggest, if you're thinking about building or if you've started, dig deep into Pinterest and start saving all of those. And I saved it by space because I used to just have like a new house folder. Well, then when I went to find something to show a builder or a worker, it took me forever to search it. So I finally made a kitchen one, a laundry room one, whatever it is. So that way, when you're trying to communicate with your workers, you're never gonna be on the same page. So that way they can visually see it. So definitely know your style and what you're looking for, but also make it easy so that your workers know what you're wanting from them. I went a step further and I printed them off. So when it was tile day, I found the tile that we chose laying the direction we wanted to, and I printed them off from my like home printer on typing paper and blue taped them to all those spaces. So if we weren't gonna be here when they started laying tile, because you never know when they're gonna show up or when they're gonna leave, they knew exactly the tile that was going in that space. and then which direction to lay it, because there are so many different ways to lay a tile now, and we ordered several different tiles. So if you're doing more of like a builder's grade type thing, you may not get as many tile options, but there's still going to be like different backsplash and different tiles for the bathrooms. So definitely take the time so that when your workers come in, if your builder's not there or if your builder doesn't understand what you're wanting or not communicating to them, they can just visually see like, okay, they want this gray tile here and they want it laid this direction. Just another tip, you can take that a step further, and when you're out shopping and like designing your home, like you're going to the tile store, or you're going to whatever, you're gonna go to so many stores when you're custom building. Definitely take your time on that. When we went into the tile store, we didn't choose like all of our tiles in one visit. It took over a month because we had the time to do it. We started early, so that was nice. We didn't feel rushed, but they will send you home with the tile. So I would always take it home so I could make sure I liked that tile or the flooring. Maybe it's wood, maybe it's planks, whatever you're doing. Take it out of the store lighting, take it to your current home, take it to your new home, take it to your friend's home. Definitely see it in different lightings because you don't know which way it's gonna go. And I had almost chosen a floor because I liked it in the tile store. And when I got it out in natural light, and I got it in our house, which was very similar to the one we were building, I knew the lighting would be about the same. I was like, I would have cried. Another tip is when you're doing any type of wood floor, whether it's like laminate or real wood, mainly laminate, real wood you won't have to worry about. They come with so many in a box. So you may have 8 different pieces of planks that look different, and then they keep repeating those 8. Look at all 8. I would find flooring and was like, I love it. Can I see the full box? And they would pull it out and I'd be like, horrified of what the other ones look like. So don't choose it by one wood tile. If it's like a laminate floor or engineer hardwood, look at every single plank in that box before you say yes, because they're not going to all look the same. So once it was time to start installing, I had all those samples of what we were going to use. So not only did I pin up that photo of what I wanted it to look like, I took that actual sample we had and laid it in the space so they could match up the tiles to my tile that I had laying, and then they could see the photo to reference it and know the direction. I know this seems crazy, and I know this seems like a lot and maybe a little much for you, and if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. For me, I'm very particular. I had a design I wanted, I was spending a ton of money, and I wanted to make sure it was done right, and if you don't stay on top of it, things are going to get messed up. We were over here twice a day. We had pictures laid out and stuff still happened. Like the wrong tile got laid, the wrong grout was used, and we were very involved with our build, and a lot of mistakes happened along the way. Definitely know you're gonna be making a ton of choices, a ton of decisions. And so I felt like anytime I could make those before the time came, then I was less panicked at the time. So definitely just start thinking about like, do you want your walls rounded? Do you want them like cornered off, more modern? They're gonna ask you what kind of trim you want, like how wide. They're gonna ask you how you want it to connect over doorways. So definitely just be here on YouTube, watch videos like this, because everyone's gonna say, you know, different things that are gonna help you. You can also get on Pinterest. They have a lot of just like blogs on there, but just doing as much research as possible is gonna help you, because your builder, if it's like mine, he's gonna call like, you have to go over there, be there in 30 minutes, they're gonna have you design the closets. So if I had to come in and design like 5 closets on a whim, I wouldn't get exactly what I wanted, but I immediately go in. I had drawings, like I had drawn out so I could take stuff. I had already measured out the closets and kind of designed them in my head. So when I had to be over here at 8 o'clock in the morning talking to somebody, I already kind of knew what I wanted, and then we could work through it together to figure out what was possible and what wasn't. Another huge tip that you need to do is have notes on your phone, because you're going to talk to the builder, you're going to talk to the workers, you're going to leave and think of 10 questions you needed to ask them. So I would always put those questions in my phone, and then I could just check mark them as they answered them. So then when I saw our builder, I could hurry, open it up and be like, oh yeah, I needed to know these 3 things, or I needed to know these 4 things. I also shared this with my husband, so we could keep those questions going, both of us. So he could write some down, I could write some down. If I got them answered, he would know because I would check mark it and I could tell him. And then another thing I did when we started building was like I wrote out everything we needed in share notes, like every light, every faucet, furniture pieces. I went room by room. So then as we were designing it or purchasing it, we could mark it off for that space. So I had this running notes of like everything that had to get done. So my mind wasn't all over the place, because it's already going to be all over the place because you're like designing a house, that at least it narrowed it down. I could scroll through, look at our living room. Let me just open up right here. I have it. New house details. So I would have like everything we needed, and then I would check mark it. You're probably not gonna be able to see on it, but I had like mirrors that I needed for each bathroom, sinks that we needed to pick out, if I needed rugs. And then I would also have a list of things that we had to choose, like flooring, countertops, master bathroom tile, game room tile, Savvy's bathroom tile, fireplace insert. And then as I found those, I would check mark it, put where we found it and how much. So then when we were getting billed, we would know. So like we figured out that our $7.98 tile was really $22 because I kept a running tab in my phone. So definitely do a share notes, and you can thank me later because it's gonna make life so much easier. Okay, so some other things I have written down is stay firm on a few things. So you're not gonna win every battle. Like where we put the house isn't where I wanted to put the house. So we met a few people out here, including our builder, and they're like, where do you want the house? I showed them where they wanted the house, and they're like, you can't have it there. So it's like, I'm not gonna win that battle. I wanted to make sure we weren't in a flood zone. I wanted to make sure we weren't too close to the pond, like all the things. So you just kind of work with them, but there was a few things I really stayed firm on that I'm glad I did. And one of them was windows. Our builder didn't think he could get windows that were black and white on both sides. I wanted them black from the outside. I wanted them black from the inside. He could do one or the other. And I just kept pushing. Like, I want black windows on both sides. It's part of my design. So that I was willing to push on, where other things like the location, let me see, things I gave up on was like, rounded sinks. So when he built our first home, like our previous home, he squared off our countertops where our sink went. So they were squared, like where the cutout is. Well, he had switched, I want to say vendors or somebody, and they would only do it rounded. And if I wanted them squared, it was going to be $80 per corner of every sink. So like stuff like that I had to give on, but the stuff I stayed firm on was the windows. I wanted a brick arch outside, and they kept wanting to put wood in it, and I did not want wood outside. He told me it was impossible, and then they made it happen. Shoe storage on our wall, we added pocket doors. If you're wanting pocket doors, be ready to like put your dukes up because no one wants to do pocket doors. We fought hard for those, and I am so thankful we did that. So just figure out what the things are that you're willing to fight for, and they have to be possible. Like if it's not possible, I get it, but like he told us we weren't going to be able to put our shoe wall where the pocket door slides because there was not going to be enough like structure to hold it. And I kind of kept pushing because I was looking on Pinterest and I'm like, I can see how it's done. And we talked to the carpenter and he was like, oh yeah, there's a way to do it. So definitely just have them ask a step further. Like, are you sure there's not a way? Can we talk to someone before you just rule it out? So you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but definitely like when it comes to windows and things you can have, definitely fight for those. Our fireplace, he didn't think he was going to be able to do it all the way to the ceiling with the stone, even though we had talked about that like in the bid. So definitely just be careful, and it's okay to push back a little bit. Like this is your house, this is your design, you're going to be living in it. He's spending your money. Like when you're doing a semi-custom build, we were spending his money. We hadn't bought it yet. And that's kind of when you just come in at the end and you get to pick paint and backsplash and carpet and just like a few minor things. When it's a custom build, like it was all our money, it was our land, everything was ours. So make sure you're getting what you want, and it's okay to change your mind. Like our carpenters were amazing, our electricians, things would go in because we'd walk it with them. We'd come and be like, okay, we want an outlet here. We need it. Like we had to choose every single outlet in our house, which is overwhelming. I was thinking of Christmas. I was thinking of like coffee pots. I was thinking if I wanted like a wax warmer. I was thinking, where's my vacuum gonna go? We added Christmas light package when Chase puts up Christmas lights. So there's so many decisions being made, and then I'd come back later and it wasn't where it was supposed to be. And it's okay to be like, I really need this moved, or I know I told you this, but it's better the sooner you can do it. The sooner you can react to that versus then putting in electric, drywalling it, painting it, and then being like, can you move that light switch? It's a lot harder. So just do it at the beginning while everything's kind of being roughed in, and it's less work. And with our builder, we got to make a lot of tweaks. So you'll have to just, like, when you're interviewing or talking to your builder, figure out what they allow you to do. There were several things we were able to do. So he let us change our floor plan without like changing the actual floor plan. He let us walk through with our framers. We added doors, we took doors away. We removed like 8 windows, which is crazy because the house is still full of windows. He let us make this floor plan work for us. He let us move like a shower to a bathtub and a bathtub to like a walk-in shower. He let us redesign our shower. He let us do a lot of things that made it work for us. And just make sure if you're wanting to do that, that's gonna be an option with your builder. Another thing that our builder let us do was we didn't have to shop from his vendors. We could, and most of them we did, because he has a better deal with them. He got better prices. But when it came to lighting, I went to his lighting stores and I couldn't find what I wanted. And when I did, they were just more expensive than what I could buy off Amazon. And so he allowed us to purchase those. And then he just added the money back in to our fund. So he paid us back for them. So just keep that in mind when you're talking to builders and see if that's an option. A must upgrade, if you're asking me, I did it my last 2 houses and it was worth it, is we upgraded our wall paint to Eggshell. It makes it so you can clean it. If you use flat paint, that's something when you go into any builder's house, they're gonna use flat paint because it looks good day one and you don't notice, but it is so hard to keep clean. You cannot clean flat paint. If you have kids, if you have a husband, if you have a dog, if you're going to live inside the house, upgrade to Eggshell paint, and I promise you, you're gonna thank me for it, because that way you can just wipe it off with soap and water. Just like with us, we always do very light walls, but even dark walls, you're gonna want to clean them. So if you don't do any other upgrade with your new build, do the Eggshell paint finish on your wall. I promise we're getting closer to the end, but I just want to fit as much in here as possible. I feel like I could do a 24-hour live talking about a home build. One of the other things I wanted to tell you about is you're going to blue tape your house. And this is even if you do a semi build or whatever. When they ask you to go in and blue tape it so that they can go in and make the changes, there may be a scuff on the wall, or they may need to fix a brick, or they may need to fix something on the floor, or something needs to be cleaned more. There's like so many things, like a light switch may not work. People go in and blue tape it, but then when you go back, all the blue tape's gone and you don't remember what you blue taped. So if you do that, go in and take pictures or a video. So when you go back to check to see if it's fixed, you can tell if it's been fixed or if they just removed the blue tape. I'm almost done. I think my camera's freaking out. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell from your side, but it's like dimming my screen. I don't know if it's gonna be it when I play back or not. If it is, I'm sorry. It's just a lot to say. Grout. I wish someone would have told me that when you choose grout, it goes lighter. So you're gonna choose your tile. They're gonna bring out this fun little board that has all the different color grout so you can lay it next to it. And I picked out the ones that matched my gray tile so it would look like concrete and it would look like one sheet as best I could. And when they put it in, it went lighter. So like a lot lighter. So if you're picking grout, just remember it's going to go lighter. So if you want it to be darker, I'd go up a few notches. And also when your tilers come in, put the tile and also write on that same piece of paper the grout. I did that and I still think our grouts got mixed up. I think our light went with our dark and our dark went with our light, and that's not something you can really fix. But just keep in mind, you won't think grout's important, but it is, and just remember it goes lighter. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope all those hacks were helpful. They're definitely need to know if you're custom building. I could give you 100 more. Maybe we'll do that in another video one day. If you wanna see that, definitely leave a comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Subscribe, click the links down below so I make a time. Comment, say hi, hit the bell so I know I'll see you next time. Smash like, subscribe, click the links down below so I make a